Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back. So this is not a video I had intentions to make until recently because there's some kind of crazy news regarding Unity that has a lot of people really upset. So this article from Indie Game Mode goes into the fact that essentially Unity is planning on charging an install fee for games. So from what I understand, every time someone buys or installs your game, you're going to be charged a certain amount per install, and you can kind of understand where this could get crazy with regards to games that are free to play, where a lot of the users aren't actually contributing to the microtransactions or whatever sort of monetization model they have, or they might just have ads or something. So it takes a bite out of that, but it could lead to situations where developers are actually owing Unity money after putting out their games, rather than them just taking like a percentage cut. Now Unity, if you don't know, is a game making engine. It's free. That's kind of one of the biggest pulls for it. That's why a lot of new developers will use it. Tons of actual I guess you could say AAA developers use it as well, but in the indie scene it's very common to see Unity based games. So this could be very bad for the monster taming genre in particular, which is what we cover here. And yeah, this is just crazy. So we're going to read through some of this, and I'm going to sort of give you guys my thoughts and reaction to it and how this can negatively impact things. Now, I don't know all of the information about this. It's not something that I've been following religiously, so I'm going to be learning as I go as well. But from what I've seen through conversations and whatnot, people are not happy about this. So game developers, as the title says, are not happy with Unity's new game install fee. Following some recent changes, the developers across the internet are pretty pissed off about Unity's new pricing model. The sentiment is widespread, with many feeling that the changes might significantly impact indie developers and smaller studios. Unity introduces new fee attached to game installs. It's set to raise the cost of using its game engine. Beginning in January 2024, it will introduce a new charge known as the Unity Runtime Fee. This fee will be calculated based on the number of users installing games with its built with its engine. So this already comes into okay, let's say I buy Coromon for PC, right? Coromon's not made with Unity, but let's just use it for an example. Or Nexomon. Nexomon's Unity. Okay, so let's say I buy Nexomon Extinction on my PC, and then I decide I got a new PC. I'm going to install it again. Oh, you know what? Why don't it has cloud saves. Why don't I install it on my laptop? Oh, why don't I install it on my wife's computer? Right there, those are 4 installs, but the developer's only making money on the game once. So that's already an issue. Here you can see some of the stuff. Unity Personal and Unity Personal Plus, $200,000 last 12 months. That's a revenue threshold. So then there's Unity Pro is $1 million last 12 months. Unity Enterprise, same thing. And so a lot of people are saying, well, a lot of these games might not make it to 1 million sales, and the thing is, you actually get less owing the more sales your game gets, as you can see, right? But even if you do have an indie game that does reach those thresholds, they're going to start getting and it's not sales, it's installs. That's the thing. It's not sales, it's installs. So you are going to have to pay this monthly rate based on the installs of your game, not the amount of sales. Furthermore, how's this going to work with regards to early access games, or what about demos, prototypes? It's going to make people not want to buy your it's going to make people not want to put out builds of their game for testing purposes. So effective January 1st, we'll introduce a new Unity runtime fee that's based on game installs. We'll also add a cloud-based asset storage, Unity DevOps tools, that AI runtime at no extra cost to Unity. Oh, how nice of you guys. Unity subscription plans this November. Updates and benefits. This will only become applicable once developers surpass certain revenue and installation thresholds. These benchmarks differ according to the subscription plans. For example, developers utilizing the Unity Personal or Unity Plus licenses, this fee will be triggered once a project achieves $200,000 in revenue over a year and accumulates $200,000 total installs. How do they know how much money a game made? How do you know how much money I sold my game on a private website for? How do you know how much money it made on Steam? How are they tracking these things, right? Does it take into consideration sales, or is it just going installs? On the other hand, those operating under Unity Pro or Unity Enterprises will encounter a more lenient threshold. Fees will only apply for them once a game generates 1 million over a 12-month span and exceed 1 million installs. Again, $1 million, I'm kind of And don't forget, this isn't net revenue. This is gross. So you have your game on Steam. They take 30% out for the Steam fees. Then you get taxed, right? Tax can be like tax on $1 million. I don't know about where all y'all live, but where I live, you're getting taxed like more than half of that, right? Like more than half of that income's gone, right? Then you still have to pay the rate based on that 1 million. So, you know, it gets a little spicier from there. Unity clarified in a blog post that the decision to implement the runtime fee was an alternative to a revenue sharing scheme. The runtime fee also won't apply retroactively and will only be charged for a few installs post January 1st, 2024, because many devs currently aren't paying. They won't be affected, but in my opinion, that still doesn't make it okay. Game director. So this is my thing. Why not just have a subscription like Game Maker has, or have a licensing fee? Like, I'm not against these I'm not against them making money. But like, why do you got to take a cut out of the game developer sales? Why can't you just charge a, blanket price? Why does there have to be a cut on top of that, right? Like, a lot of people, as one of our developers in the Discord had mentioned, a lot of people weren't happy with when Game Maker turned into sort of like a subscription-based thing where it's actually free until you want to publish. But, you still have to pay that monthly membership if you're going to be like making consistent updates and stuff like that, right? But that's still much better. I'd rather pay a monthly fee, which again, I'd rather just buy the whole license. Like I did with Game Maker personally, so I don't have to worry about that. But I would like to just buy the whole license and not have to worry about it, or at least pay, a decent amount of money that's not like insane. Like here they're going to talk about, excuse me, I just dropped the freaking mic, but here they're going to talk about like how much it actually costs for these pro memberships and stuff like that. And it gets kind of ridiculous. So game director John Dracy points something else out in his post. He showed off his renewal receipt and stated that Plus members are automatically being switched to Pro model of Unity. Be careful not to have auto-renew on your account if you can't afford the price. And this is just with 2 people on my team with Project Access. For him and the 2 members on his team, for the Unity development cost Pro would be $4,046 for this year. That's a lot of money. A massive increase from the $764 spent the last year. $764, it's still a lot, but like that's way more manageable. You divide that by 12, right? But $4,000 for the year to and a lot of game devs are doing this casually too, right? So we go down here. Yeah, they just upped it just without even asking. That's insane. Unreal indirectly responds, seemingly in response to Unity's crazy decision. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Unreal Engine Evangelist at Epic Games. What the hell's an Unreal Engine Evangelist? And former lead programmer at Housemark highlighted Unreal's model. He tweeted the following: "We only succeed when we succeed. Our 5% royalty model only kicks in after your first 1 million gross revenue, meaning that if you make $1,001 you owe us 5 cents, and this is per title. Also, revenue generated from Epic Game Store will be excluded from that 5% royalty." Okay, cool. I think my good friend Isaiah Toth put it best, stating, "Imagine this, publishers take 20 to 40%. Here we go. Steam takes 30%. Unity charges 20% per install. Sorry, 20 cents per installs. Will devs soon have to go into debt making a game? No, this cannot happen. If it does, the whole game dev industry will have a massive shift. Let me know in the comments if you use a Unity, how much your game makes after it's made, or if you'll be switching to Unreal or Godot, or even staying with Unity after this debacle." And that's it. So for me, I don't think this is gonna nuke the monster taming scene completely. I don't think monster taming games are just gonna have to all switch, because like realistically, a lot of the games in the genre don't even meet the $200,000 threshold, or 200,000 sales for that matter. Maybe $200,000 though. But I will say some of the bigger titles in the genre, like Nexomon, right? That's a Unity-based game. Temtem, another Unity-based game. Those games will see these charges. Like Temtem sold over 1 million copies, and I don't know if they're gonna try to retroactively charge people. Like, oh well, you sold 1 million 2 years ago, so cough up that 20 cents times 1 million, which that's a decent amount of money. It's 1 million times. That's like 200 grand. How much is that? I'm not gonna try to calculate it, but it's basically 20 cents. 1 million divided by 5 essentially, because 20 cents is 1/5. So what is that, like 200K? That's kind of insane. So I don't know, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this. If you are a Unity developer, do you plan on switching if your game's earlier in development? If it's not, what do you plan on doing? Let me know down below, and yeah, let's see where things go from here. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.